right here. So condoms are barriers made of thin rubber or latex sheet that are used to cover the penis in the male or vagina and cervix in the female just before the coitus, so that the ejaculated semen would not enter into the female reproductive tract. Whenever semen is not enters, obviously in case male uses condom and female uses condom also, female condom also, obviously the semen is not enters into the female reproductive tract, then obviously there is no fertilization, there is no pregnancy. This can prevent a conception. So what is the famous condom? Nirod is a popular brand of condom for males. Male condom is Nirod. So use of condom has increased in recent years due to its additional benefit of protecting the user from controlling STI and AIDS. So STI, sexually transmitted infections, and AIDS. So those people are participating with unknown persons with unprotected sex. There is a chance for spreading of STI and AIDS. So that compulsory condom usage is required. And condom additional benefit is protection from STI and AIDS. And both the male and female condoms are disposable, can be self inserted, and thereby gives privacy to the user. So after the usage it should be going to be disposed and can be disposed properly and can be self inserted. So self can be used, self inserted, anyone help is not required for uses of condom, and thereby gives a privacy to the user, right? I will show diagram, condoms diagram given in NCERT, right? So this is male condom and this one is female condom. So male condom, one side opening, so male inserted erected penis with the condom, and female condom and both sides it is opening. So whenever not both sides it is opening, whenever there is two rings are presented, so one ring is closed, this closed ring closed and inserted into the region of vagina by herself, and this is the opening, and it covers the vagina, and male inserted the penis into the region of vagina. Obviously sperm releases inside the condom of the female. After this clear, right? So next one, next type of barriers are diaphragms, cervical caps, and walls. So earlier we discussed in the flow chart, barriers, condoms are for both males and females, and this type of the barriers, diaphragm, cervical caps, and walls, to whom males or females? Females only. Whenever you are writing the notes, in notes you should write the point diagrams, diaphragms, cervical caps, and walls. These three type of the barriers for females only. So condoms for both males and females, and diaphragms, cervical caps, and walls for females only. Okay. So first one, diaphragms. It is a tubular rubber sheet with a flexible metal or spring at the margin, which is fitted inside the vagina. So before the coitus, the female is self-inserted the diaphragm into the region of vagina inside the vagina. It is a tubular rubber sheet with a flexible metal or spring at the margin, which is fitted inside the vagina. Whenever diaphragm is presented, so then male releases sperms also. It should not, semen is not releases inside the cervix. Obviously there is no fertilization, there is no pregnancy. And cervical cap, it is a rubber nipple which is fitted over the cervix and is designed to remain there by suction, and the device prevents the entry of sperms into the uterus. Cervical cap, it is a rubber nipple which is fitted over the cervix and is designed to remain there by suction, and the device prevents the entry of sperms into the uterus. So whenever cervical cap also presented, that is also self inserted by the female, that is also prevents entry of sperms into the uterus. Okay. And waltz, it is a hemispheric dome like rubber or plastic cap with a thick rim which is meant for fitting over the vaginal vault over the cervix. So same as like cervical cap and diaphragm. So vaults also one of the type of barrier method in the females, self inserted, and female keep the walls into the region of vagina over the cervix. So here you should remember important point: diaphragms, cervical caps, and walls for only females, and these are also self inserted. And how it works? So these three also prevents the entry of sperms into the region of uterus of the females. So here given diaphragm, cervical cap, walls are also barriers made up of rubber that are inserted into the female reproductive tract to cover the cervix during the coitus. Whenever these three are covers the cervix, and during the coitus it covers the cervix. Before the coitus only it should be enters, and it covers the cervix, and obviously the sperms are not enters. The semen is releases into the region of vagina of the female. From there it is further not enters into the reproductive tract like cervix, uterus, because of barriers are presented. So here given point, diaphragms, cervical caps, and walls are also barriers made up of rubber that are inserted into the female reproductive tract to cover the cervix during coitus, and they prevent conception by blocking the entry of sperms through the cervix. These are reusable. So diaphragms, cervical caps, and walls are reusable after the usage. It can be properly washed and reusable. As like condoms, these are not disposable. They prevent conception. How it works? Diaphragm, cervical caps, and walls. How it works? They prevent conception by blocking the entry of sperms through the cervix. They are reusable. After this clear all of you, right? Once again I am repeating here: diaphragms, cervical caps, and walls, these three are barriers, one of the type of barriers for whom? Females only, right? So diaphragm, it is a tubular rubber sheet with a flexible metal or spring at the margin which is fitted inside the vagina. So these three are fitted inside the vagina by self inserted by the female inside the vagina. And cervical cap, it is a rubber nipple which is fitted over the cervix and is designed to remain there by suction. The device prevents the entry of sperms into the region of uterus. So cervical caps, in the name only, fitted into the region of cervix. So it blocks it. This device prevents the entry of sperms into uterus. Right. Next one, walls. It is hemispheric dome-like rubber or plastic cap with a thick rim which is meant for fitting over the vaginal vault over the cervix. Whenever the walls are presented over the cervix, then obviously the sperm entry blockages takes place. So here given a diaphragm, cervical cap, walls are also barriers made up of rubber that are inserted into the female reproductive tract to cover the cervix during coitus. So before coitus only, before coitus only, whatever the diaphragm, cervical caps, walls are self inserted by the females, then obviously sperm entry blockages takes place. The prevent conception by blocking the entry of sperms through the cervix. These are reusable. So on what principle these are works? So prevent conception by the blocking the entry of sperms through the cervix, and these are reusable. Okay, and I will show the diagram of diaphragm, cervical caps. Yes, so diaphragms and cervical caps. So these are made up of with rubber, and it can be reusable, and these are self inserted by the females into the region of vagina. Right. Okay, uses of diaphragm, cervical caps. So here, so self inserted by through the vagina of the female, and like before the coitus, and it should be the barrier. So whenever the male releases the sperms into the female vagina, then further sperms are not reaches into the region of uterus of the females. Up to this clear? Right. Okay.